Welcome to today's deep dive. I've got your sources right here, and we are looking at the gripping, frankly eerie history of Utah's Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, it is a wild one for sure.
Our mission today is to explore how this beautiful 480-acre dream property became an absolute nightmare of overlapping anomalies. I mean, it pushed a family to the brink and eventually sparked a billionaire scientific investigation.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's unpack this. Back in 1994, the Sherman family bought this sprawling ranch,
Right.
and they just totally ignored some massive red flags from the previous owners.
Oh, yeah. The kind of red flags that should really make anyone just turn the car around. We're talking heavy-duty dog chains embedded in the walls.
Inside the house, right?
Inside the house, yeah. Deadbolts on the inside of the doors and bizarre contract clauses explicitly forbidding them from digging anywhere on the land.
Which naturally raises the question of why there was so much paranoia.
Well, the land itself has a deeply unsettling history that explains a lot of that. The local Ute tribe actually believed this specific area was cursed by the Navajo. They strictly avoided the land, believing it lay directly in the path of a skinwalker.
And a skinwalker is...
It's a harmful witch in Native American lore, capable of disguising themselves as an animal. That is exactly how the ranch got its infamous nickname.
You'd think a curse like that would take time to manifest, but for the Shermans, things went off the rails on literally day one.
Day one.
Yeah, they're unloading their truck, and this remarkably friendly wolf approaches them. It's wagging its tail, letting them pet it, but it is massive, easily 3 times the size of a normal wolf. Out of nowhere, it clamps its jaws onto a calf's head. So Terry grabs a .357 Magnum and shoots it at point-blank range.
And you'd expect that to be the end of it.
Exactly, but it doesn't even flinch. Terry upgrades to a heavy .30-06 rifle and shoots it again. He blows a chunk of flesh off, but the wolf just calmly lets go and slowly walks away.
That is just wild.
All right, imagine yourself in Terry's shoes. You just emptied a high-powered rifle into an animal, and it treats it like a mosquito bite. Terry and his son track it to a muddy bank, and the paw prints simply vanish.
And the flesh they found?
Oh yeah, the chunk of flesh smelled completely rotten like it had been dead for days.
What's fascinating here is the sheer chaotic variety of the phenomena that followed. This wasn't just a hotspot for strange cryptids like that wolf. It escalated into intense poltergeist activity inside the home. Gwen would unpack her groceries, leave the room, and return to find them perfectly repackaged inside the bags.
Honestly, a poltergeist that helps put away the groceries is the only anomaly here I'd actually welcome.
Fair point, but it got much less helpful. A 70-pound post digger vanished, only to be found later hanging 70 feet up in a tree. Out in the pastures, they witnessed invisible, predator-like entities parting herds of cattle.
And those silent crafts.
Yes, silent, gravity-defying crafts hovering over the snow that looked like slightly smaller F-117 Nighthawk stealth bombers.
Wait, a 70-pound post digger ends up 70 feet in a tree. How does a scientific team even begin to investigate something like that?
It's incredibly difficult, especially when you realize the phenomena were actively shifting from physical anomalies to psychological terror as a way to wear the family down.
Here's where it gets really interesting and honestly terrifying for you listening. Terry started seeing these orange portals opening up in the night sky, revealing bright blue daylight on the other side. But the absolute worst were these tennis ball-sized blue orbs flying around. What were those called again?
The blue meanies. They emitted a specific frequency or signal that caused intense, overwhelming dread in humans.
Like pure psychological warfare.
Exactly.
Oh.
One night, Terry's 3 prized hunting dogs chased one of these blue orbs into the tree line. Terry heard 3 yelps, and the next morning he found his dogs reduced to 3 smoldering piles of flesh.
So what does this all mean for the Shermans? It completely broke them. Financially and psychologically ruined, having lost 14 prized cattle and their beloved family pets, they threw in the towel. In 1996, they sold the ranch to billionaire Robert Bigelow.
And Bigelow didn't just buy it to ranch. He brought in his NIDS team, the National Institute for Discovery Science, to try and apply the rigorous scientific method to these paranormal events. They wanted to conduct a highly equipped long-term investigation. If we connect this to the bigger picture, you have to look at how these bizarre occurrences challenge our fundamental understanding of reality. This property blurs the line between terrifying ancient folklore and modern scientific inquiry.
Absolutely, and it leaves you with a lingering, unsettling question to think about. If a highly equipped scientific team spends a decade pointing advanced sensors at these exact coordinates, does the act of observing such physics-defying phenomena force it to hide, or does it invite the phenomena to study us back?